It's real estate story time. I'm starting my video a little different today. I'd like to share with you a story, but I don't want to miss anything, so I'm going to read it verbatim, okay? In the twilight of light, Bob and Marlene stood at a crossroads. After decades of nurturing a sprawling family home, the time had come for them to embark on a journey of downsizing. Their decision to leave behind the house that held a lifetime of memories and transition them into a more compact and manageable condo marked the beginning of an inspiring story. A tale of rediscovery, resilience, and the transformative powers of downsizing for an older couple seeking a new adventure in their golden years. Bob and Marlene's family home had become the backdrop for countless family gatherings. They had 2 sons, Bob and Marlene did. But it also had become a symbol of the upkeep and maintenance that had begun to weigh on them. With mixed emotions, they embarked on the process of decluttering, sorting through treasures, and saying goodbye to possessions that traveled with them through the years. As they settled into their snug condo, Bob and Marlene's downsizing journey revealed a remarkable transformation. It was more than just a change of residence. It was a profound shift in their perspective on life. Their story is a testament to the idea that downsizing in later years can be a pathway to new beginnings, community, and joy of simplifying life's complexities. So that is my story, but I also pulled a rookie move and I didn't turn my phone off. So I'm going to turn my phone off now. So what is this story and why is it important? Well, this story is a true story. So it's not a tale, it's a true story. Bob and Marlene were clients of mine. They lived in the neighborhood that I lived in. They had an open house. They were a for sale by owner, more than 10 years ago actually. And I went up to their door and it was not an open house. I missed the open house. So I went to their door, I think it was the next day. And had a nice conversation with Marlene, and they were having some trouble selling the house, and I basically just told them what value I could bring to them, and I said I live right around the corner, so I live very close. Anyways, they were the nicest people, and I am so grateful to have met them, and they've introduced me to, obviously, other people. Their son that I've sold his house and they purchased another house. I took care of both of their parents' residences, but this story is not about that. This is a story about downsizing, decluttering, things that will help you to move forward in that, I want to say, overwhelming place that you will get to when you decide, if you decide that it's time to move, right? And shut down shop, should I say, and open someplace else. I don't want to get too much off track here, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about transitioning from a house to a condo. I will tell you, there are a lot of condos that are equally as large or larger than houses now. So when I say downsizing, it doesn't necessarily mean downsizing space. It could be downsizing in the amount of property that you take care of. It could be downsizing in addition to property, the amount of work that you have. So I wanted to talk about some practical advice, right? So this is kind of important. When you move, you have furniture. Everyone has furniture, right? So when you move, most people move with their furniture. They bring their furniture with them. But do they ever consider the fact that their furniture may not fit into the new house? Maybe you have a large dining room table. I do love dining room tables though. Where do you put all the family when they come for the party? It's where people gather. I digress. So where do you put that? Maybe it has leaves and it can be downsized. I have seen a lot of condos out there that have more of an open floor plan. So you will be able to, if you do have a big table, you may be able to make space in the open part of the floor plan for a dining room table. Some have smaller kitchens. Like I said, a big open spot, whatever, you could put a table. But if you don't have that, you got to think about it. Do I need the big table? Do we really have that many people over all the time? Are we just going to be having a couple of large gatherings a year? Is it going to be more of, the kids are going to be having the parties now. I was at Target just the other day, going through the checkout, and it's Thanksgiving time. The cashier asked me, "Oh, are you having Thanksgiving?" We were small talking. I was probably buying a little bit of wine and sausage. Yes, Target does have a food department. Small, but they do. And parsley. So at any rate, we started talking about it, and I said, actually, this year I am not having Thanksgiving. And the reason why I'm not having Thanksgiving, less than 24 hours later, I have to be 2 hours away from us. So I have to, by like 10:30, so I have to leave the house at like 8. And I know my limitations. I know, as I get older, having a large party like that with lots of dishes, lots of cleanup, all the prep work, I won't be able to do it. I'm going to be down for 2 days after. My sister-in-law's taking it, but that's a whole nother story. So the point of getting to this is that, maybe you're not going to have the big parties anymore. Maybe you're just going to have it once or twice. And at that point, is it worth it to just like throw up a card table or something? So I realized that when I was younger, I used to have large parties, and it was very, I like to have formal parties, set the table, put the china out, all that fun stuff. But sometimes when you get a little older, it's just about being together. It's about being together and enjoying the holidays. And maybe you don't need to have that fancy tablecloth. So at any rate, like I said, you may not need that big table. You may not need that hutch. You may not need that china cabinet. So when you think about that, or if you have a large bed, a poster bed, right? King size bed, obviously a lot of people, if there are more than one person that sleep together in the bedroom, they probably have a king bed, or at least a queen. So, you have to think about that. Big ornate furniture. I know for a lot of years they were making these huge pieces of furniture that I couldn't fit in rooms that I was in. But, so you might want to think about that. Maybe you don't need 3 full bedrooms. Maybe you want to have your bedroom. Maybe you want to have something in another room, something like that, a stowaway bed, something like that can house people when they come over, a place where you can put a blow-up mattress. So you don't necessarily need 3 bedrooms anymore. Now you talk about an office. If you have an office, that's great. If you don't have an office, or if you're not going to have an office in the new place, then maybe you just sit at the kitchen counter. Nothing like that. I record these downstairs in my basement. I'm very fortunate right now. I have a place where I can do this. The unfortunate thing is it's not very bright because there are no open windows in this room here. No windows to the outside. I have those little glass block ones, but those are to another room. So there's pros and cons about everything. It's called life, pros and cons, right? Unfortunate. I don't really have a lot of trouble with a lot of people. Probably because I'm just more like, hey, you do you, I do me. But you do have to be aware when you're in a condo, whether it's a detached condo or an attached condo, more so with an attached condo, to be, a little bit polite. If you have attached walls in a condo, it's not all about you anymore. It's about having, you, but knowing maybe not far away, there's somebody else that you don't want to aggravate, right? Hey, if you're having a party though, invite them, right? Or if you're having a party, it's a family party and you don't want to invite them, just let them know you're going to be making some noise for a little bit. That's okay, right? I'm sure they're going to appreciate that rather than, having to call the police, right? And I kind of say that jokingly because I don't know too many people that live in a condo, downsizing, of a certain age that have wild, crazy parties. It doesn't. I just threw that out there because, there are those people out there that do like to cause a little trouble. But at any rate, yeah, just, be a good neighbor. You're living in a different environment now. You're not all living in the same house, but you're living in the same area, right? And plus, what does it cost to be nice? All right. Let's talk about this new place. Purchasing a condo brand new or having a condo built. There are people that have never purchased a brand new home or had something built from scratch for them, a house that nobody else has ever lived in. I being one of them. I have never done that. So I, by no means, have the ability to make a comment on you should do this and you should do that because I don't want to shit on anybody. I will give a word of warning though, because I do know that this is possible in any stage of life, that you're moving into this place and it's, it's going to probably be one of your last moves, or maybe you got a 5 to 7 year plan and you're going to move south after that, or you have a plan to stay in there 4 years and then you're going to move in with your kid and you're going to rent it out. Whatever. Just be cautious because a lot of times the prices on building these things can go up super quickly. The add obviously. Who doesn't like crown molding? I like crown molding and I like Crown Royale, but that's a whole different story. But it's easy. It's easy for that to add up. And I only say that because it is easy to go over quickly because you get all excited and everything. And that's fine. If you have the funds to do that, great. But just keep in mind, you can still make it cozy. You can still make it nice. You can still enjoy it and not have to have top of the line everything. I'm just putting a word of advice out there for you. Only because, when we sell that home that we've had for a long time, we want to make sure we get the equity, the funds out of it, the net out of it, and put it toward this new condo. And really, we work a lifetime for this to reach the end. It's about the journey, right? I don't want to say the destination because maybe it's your final destination, maybe it's not. Who knows? I never want to think about that last place. You want to be comfortable financially. So I by no means am a financial advisor. I'm going to throw that out there right now. And you can ask my husband, probably I'm not the best financial person. I do know when it comes to homes that it's really easy quickly to just keep adding on all this great stuff. And you can always do it later. You could add, later, right? You could do it later. So that's just what I wanted to kind of, if you were going to buy something brand new. I talked a little bit about the storage. I'm going to close with this, but I'm just going to say, you know, when you do, I know this because I did live in a condo at one time, and I mentioned that in a previous video. I'm now in a house, but it wasn't a condo. Probably will downsize in the future back to a condo, but for this stage right now, I'm here. But my point is, if you need storage space, because you don't want to really get rid of everything. I mean, who wants to get rid of their kids' stuff? I mean, I having a hard time. And of course, kids this age, they don't want it. They're like, no, I don't want it. But you know what? They may want it someday. So that's why I'm saying you may want to keep some stuff. But when you do the storage thing, there's multiple different functional storage boxes, units, ottomans, hiding things in the wall, closet organizers. They've really come a long way with storage. So what you don't want to keep, make sure that you find something that can house these things, or even just storage bins that have like little drawers. And finally, this is a piece of advice. Just dropped my glasses. This is my final piece of advice when you are moving to a condo, home, or actually any other place. If you and your significant other, or you and somebody else that is going to help you move things around, if the two of you cannot lift it to move it together and you're purchasing something new, don't buy it. Thank you, Isaiah Manning, for giving me that. Because you know what? You need to be able to move your stuff around. So they have a lot of great furniture out there, even IKEA. They got a lot of light furniture. Kind of minimalistic, but things that aren't super heavy. So pull-out bed will be kind of heavy though, so if you have that, At any rate, I am going to link in the pinned comment a nice little download for you. So I know this was kind of off track, and it was more of a conversation with myself, but actually hopefully you're watching it and it's a conversation with you. So I'm here for you guys if you need me. Other than that, I hope you're having a